of, on the front page, proclamations, I need to know from you if this format works in terms of depicting voting on the proclamations, or whether you prefer that back as a consent item and just simply have the proclamations that they normally appear. Really just seeking guidance on how you want us, you asked us to report the votes, and this is the format that the clerk's office first is offering, but
I will offer suggestions. So that's not all-inclusive of all the proclamations that have been handed out even prior to the city council meeting. So, for instance, yesterday we had a proclamation for Pando Initiative, and they will not receive the proclamation at city council, so you wouldn't have the votes on that one either. So I think that if you could have them all inclusively in the consent agenda, then you have all of the proclamations that have come through so far.
you're okay with that being on the consent, or do you want that all here on the front end under proclamations? It would be confusing, I think, if I put the ones that are not going to be on the at the meeting. Put it,
And
put
then
it,
will it go in the minutes who voted for them?
yes,
So, and that's a change, because now we
That-
don't do that.
that's correct.
Yeah, and that way everybody will vote every time.
The
That's
vote
not
will-
true.
The vote
So-
will be shown as part of the minutes.
Yes, so it will
Yeah.
show that there's either a yes, a no, or an abstention.
Correct.
So that would
As
show
similar
those
to what's
things.
on here
So
this
you
time.
can abstain if it's a conflict of interest, right?
Well, there is an ordinance that says, and I don't know if it applies to proclamation, I'd have to quickly read that all council members shall vote unless there's a conflict recognized by the chair.
Is the
I
proclamation?
don't know that it applies to proclamations, I think it's fairly.
Yeah, I was like, have we seen a proclamation as abstention or not? Because it's via email. So sometimes it's once it gets 4 votes, it doesn't go back around to council. So just how do we handle that?
It's been handled before votes, it proceeds.
Yeah.
I don't know how abstentions have been handled.
And there's not like a final roll call for it, or
So I guess direction you're able to give here if you'd like.
Because right now, that doesn't even show an abstention. Did not vote could simply mean not answering an email, which that's not an abstention either.
Can we add our vote later or not? Sometimes you just miss them, and you wish you could add your vote to it.
That-
Legally, I don't see why not.
Yeah, the policy that is in existence right now says once the staff gets to 4, they go ahead and issue the proclamation. So it would be, I guess, up to the council to decide how you'd want to do that. If we'll report to you every week what was on record for all the proclamations as of probably Thursday, this was as of yesterday. So that's kind of our timing.
For instance, I don't remember seeing the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Probably did, but I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah.
So can I change my vote to yes for that?
Technically, again, I'll let Jennifer jump in.
guess I'll
If
change
we
it to
report
vote.
this to you on the consent agenda, if you pull that item off the consent agenda and said that you wanted to add your vote to it, I think you could do that.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
all right.
And starting that meeting on May 6th, the proclamations that are awarded during that council meeting, the official signature of the mayor will be hand-signed at
Right.
at the meeting, per what was discussed during city council
Right.
topic.
And if I could follow up on the ordinance you asked about, the obligation to vote, 2.04.280, just generally says all members of council shall vote on all matters coming before the city council, except in those particular cases of conflict of interest approved by the presiding officer, et cetera. I mean, it doesn't talk about proclamations in that way, but then proclamations are also covered in a different part of the code, so.
I don't know how you could have a conflict of interest for a proclamation. So,
We'll leave it up to you. We're going to continue to report it as did not vote unless you tell us otherwise. Okay. All right. On page 2, you have 4 speakers scheduled. Page 3, new business number 1, would approve $6 million in multifamily residential revenue bonds for the construction of 36 units at 721 West Maple.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
It doesn't say the term of the property tax abatement on there. Not, at least I didn't see it. Do we know what that is? 10 years. 10 years? Okay. Thank you.
On page 4, number 2, would open the public hearing. Actually, I'm not quite sure where we're going to go with this. I'll probably know more by the end of today. It's possible that we're going to ask you to open the public hearing and continue the item to May 20th. This is a request for $5 million in IRBs for the acquisition and removal, and the remodeling of 140,000 square foot warehouse space. We're still working on some details, so that's why I'm not sure whether or not we'll get everything resolved.
May 13th or May 20th, because the recommendation at the top is the 13th.
I'm sorry, May 13th.
Okay.
That's the joy of working at 2 agendas at the same time. All right. Number 3, this is a public hearing on 85 special assessment projects related to paving, water, sewer, and storm sewer improvements. And page 5, and page 6, and page 7. Page 8, number 4, would approve the reallocation of $73,450 in District 1 Hyatt funds for free swim days at McAfee Pool and for 430 youth football scholarships.
Can I find out from each district how many Hyatt funds are still remaining?
Yes, we'll get that for you, Mayor.
I do have about 50,000 that has been paid recently by the drive-in and another 150 outstanding that will be coming in. And I think maybe here within a month or so, I'll be ready to reallocate some of those funds as well. And I think that might be it.
My recollection is all we had left were districts 1 and 3. But we'll get that confirmation for you. All right. Number 5 is the approval of the 2026 scope of services and the budget for the Tourism Business Improvement District. Number 6 is approving the permitting and street closures associated with the Wichita River Festival. Number 7 would initiate an amendment to the comprehensive plan to amend the urban growth area in the vicinity of 55th Street South and Ridge Road. Number 8 has been pulled and will be delayed. Oh, excuse me, number 8 has been pulled. There is no need for this item. As we looked at it, it's been approved by the Golf Advisory Board by the Golf Board of Governors, and therefore, they have the authority to make these adjustments. Number 9 would approve summer camp bus transportation contract with First Student. On page 9, number 10 would approve the 2025-26 HUD Annual Action Plan. Number 11 would approve $420,000 in home funds for the construction of 42 units of affordable housing. And number 12 would approve $680,000 in available home funds for the construction of 68 units of affordable housing. Page 10, number 1 on non-consent planning agenda, this would approve a CUP amendment in District 4. There's a difference between the MAPC and DAB recommendations. Number 11 would approve a zone change, number 2 on page 11 would approve a zone change in District 6. There's a difference again between the MAPC and DAB recommendations. And number 3 would approve amendments to the Unified Zoning Code related to home occupation daycares. Page 12, approval of a trip for the mayor on council member agenda.
Again, no taxpayer dollars are being used for this.
3B would select a firm to handle the acquisitions and relocations that are related to the Douglas Avenue Improvement Project. 3C would approve a grant funding from South Central Kansas Library System for interlibrary loan lending. That's all I have on page 13. On page 14, 3D would select a firm for progressive design, build, construction, the First Street Bridge. On page 15, number 6, just call to your attention that in addition to the traditional reporting that we receive from Visit Wichita, they're also submitting their independent audit for 2024. Number 8 would approve fair market values for parcels to be acquired for the Douglas Improvement Project. On page 16, number 10 would approve the sale of surplus property for $40,000. Number 11 would approve a waiver of MABCD fees for affordable housing projects that are utilizing the low-income housing tax credit program.
Is that 2 projects or?
You just would approve on Tuesday 2 projects that are applying for
Applying,
those.
2 of them.
Again, we have no idea whether they'll receive funding or the credits. If they do receive the credits, this policy approval would allow us to waive the building fees.
Okay.
And it'll make them more competitive.
It will make
Yeah.
them more competitive, yes. They'll get more points. I don't have anything on page 17. On page 18, 19, and 20, there are 16 public housing authority houses that would be sold, all for fair market value or above. On page 21, number 31 would approve a 5-year lease agreement for space at the Eisenhower Airport. Number 32 would approve $1.9 million for the replacement of mechanical systems at 4 airport facilities. Number 33 would approve a lease agreement for tenant construction of 3,000 square feet of office and training space at Eisenhower. Number 34 would approve a lease agreement with the GSA for space at the Eisenhower Airport. On page 22, number 36 would approve rate structures for 2 Textron facilities until August 2026. At that time, these facilities will be incorporated into a master agreement with Textron, which will be negotiated in 2026. That's all I have, Mayor, on the May 6th agenda. If there aren't any other questions, we'll go real quickly to the May 13th draft agenda. On page 2, new business, the first item would be the council receiving and filing the actuarial reports, the actuarial report for the police and fire retirement system as well as the Wichita employees retirement system. Number 2 would approve the sale of 47 single-family homes for affordable housing and the allocation of affordable housing fund dollars for the construction assistance. On page 3, number 3 would approve $425,000 for Watson Park improvements. Number 4 would approve an agreement for the supply of non-alcoholic beverages at the golf courses. Number 5 would approve an assignment of the Ice Center Management Agreement. Number 7 would approve a contract for the study of water reuse alternatives. Number 8 would approve an MAPC fee increase as included in the 2025 budget. Number 9 is pulled. Next page, number 10 would approve a CID for the redevelopment project in District 3. Page 5, a non-consent airport item. This would approve a lease of 9.6 acres at Jabara with WSU Tech for their hangar and educational facility.
Just for the record, I will be abstaining from that item when it comes.
Thank you.
I think I would too, because I'm a board member for WSU Tech.
Yeah, yeah, that has been an area that we've talked about before. And Jennifer, I don't know how you want to advise. Many of you serve on advisory, on boards, and the council has usually, the council member representing the city has usually voted on those items.
That's been what we've done, and I don't think that's a conflict in terms of prohibiting from a vote. I think it's good to disclose that.
Because you're not getting any personal gain.
Right. And you're serving as the city's representative, which is important in that capacity. I don't have anything on page 6. On page 7, number 6 would close out 5, actually it's number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 would close out 5 building facade improvement projects. And then we would close out an asbestos remediation project in number 11.
And these are all with the old facade program that we had, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so, yep. Mayor, excuse me, no, I do have one other item to highlight on page 11, the last page. It would approve a land lease with Clemens Aviation for the construction of a new hangar. Yes, seems to be a regular occasion with them, so. All right, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Any news from council members? I'll just remind, oh, go ahead.
I would just encourage people to come out to No More Open Streets on Sunday, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I think that's it.
There will be a rally in Old Town Square, 3 o'clock on Saturday, the Mothers Against Fentanyl. So a lot of people who have lost their loved ones will be out there. It'll be just a good time to really reflect on what's going on in our community. So just wanted to put that on people's radar.
There's also a downtown river cleanup and prairie fire, so kudos to all of you that are running.
Thank you all very much. Have a great weekend.